Ooh.
What is up, everybody? It is the Money Match Gaming Podcast. Today, we're here to talk coming soon in February. I am part of your co-host team, The Infinite, and my partner over here, Dan Estrata. What's up, dude? What's going on? You know, what's up?
Good. I mean, well, I don't know if that actually answers the question. Nothing is going on. We're recording this, the Money Match Gaming Talk Show podcast extravaganza spectacular, starring your boys Lance and Dan. And fun fact, we just performed a fusion dance there. I saw the Dragon Ball Z movie this weekend, or the Dragon Ball Super movie this weekend, and there was a scene about the fusion dance, which I really enjoyed. So whenever you get a chance to check that out, it's definitely enjoyable. But today we are talking about what is coming soon in February. 19. And I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, there seems to be a lot of games coming out, but nothing that interests me that much. But we'll talk about it. We'll bring them up. And if you want, without further ado, we can go right into this.
Let's get it, son.
All right,
Let's
so
get it.
let's start as always with the game releases. On February 1st, we have for the PC Ace Combat 7. On February 5th, we have Etrian Odyssey Nexus for the 3DS and The Occupation for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. February 6th, we have The Walking Dead for the PS4 and Xbox One. I imagine this is not linked to the Walking Dead Telltale game. It's a different Walking Dead game. February 7th, we have Total War 3 Kingdoms for the PC and Blaze Blue Central Fiction for the Switch. February 8th, we have God Eater 3 for the PS4 and Monster Energy Supercross 2 for all, like, the whole everything, all the consoles and the PC. February 12th, we have Trials Rising, once again, for everything and the PC, all the consoles and the PC. February 14th, we have the Civ 6 expansion Gathering Storms for the PC. Excuse me. February 15th, we have Jump Force coming out on the PC, Xbox One, and PS4. We have Far Cry New Dawn on the PC, Xbox One, and PS4. We have Crackdown 3 for the Xbox One and PC. February 21st, we have the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy for all consoles. Not PC, just the consoles. February 25th, we have Anthem, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and Metro Exodus, which is also for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And closing it out on February 26th, we have Dirt Rally 2.0 for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and the Lego Movie 2 game, which is for all consoles, not the PC. And yeah, that's what we got. That's what we're working with so far.
So that first one that I kind of want to mention, I looked up everything ahead of time and all that other stuff. God Eater 3. I'm surprised you don't just straight up nah.
I had all right. So I had God Eater 2. I bought it because I was like, man, this is some dope artwork on the box, and it was like $10, and I was like, a game with this cool artwork on the box can't be shit. Yikes.
Yikes.
That game is it. Maybe I just didn't give it enough time. I don't know, but it was like a Monster Hunter game, but you're not really hunting the monsters. It seemed like all the maps were kind of like set maps, and it plays kind of like Monster Hunter, but the weapons just aren't as fun, even though they had a scythe, which I thought was cool, but I thought it was not a great game, to be honest. I was surprised that they're making a third.
I think the show, or like it might be a manga too, is really popular. The show kind of turned me off and stuff, but like just looking at it, it kind of looking like a JRPG type of thing, you know. It just seemed like your alley. So like,
no, it's more Monster Hunter than anything else.
Okay, all right. So I just highlighted it just for that specific reason. That I was like, I watched a few clips. I was like, it looks nice.
Yeah. I was not impressed by my experience with 2. And like I said, maybe I just did not give it enough time to build up and get to a fun part, but I was just quick on the gun, and I was just like, not feeling this game. And then returned it or sold it like used shortly after.
Right. So I didn't highlight them, but there's also the Monster Energy Supercross 2 and Trials Rising. That seemed really, really interesting to me. Not something I would buy, but I always kind of like those games' designs, and I like how pure they are and stuff like that. And like, I've seen plenty of people play, I believe it might be Trials Rising is the one that I see a lot, with all the weird tracks and like the weird ways you have to beat them and stuff like that.
I think I have a Trials game, or maybe that one specifically. I'm not entirely sure. That was like free on the Xbox for a period of time, but never really played it. Didn't really catch my eye too much, to be honest.
Right. But it just seemed a little interesting. And then, because I'm going to keep going through, because there's a lot of things that I think are interesting. I just don't have the funds or the time to just really go into some of these games. But Civ 6, I was always a fan of Civilization games. And, this one, it catches my fancy. I just don't know if I want to like buy it all. And the games are so. It's not that they're difficult to play. It's just that
long.
They're crazy long. You could spend a whole day on just
and not
one
even
map.
finish. Yeah.
And it's like it's cool because I do play games like that. A good example would be like Total War, which I passed up. So hey.
Yeah, my brother is a big Civ 6 fan, so I'm actually curious to see, or just Civ in general. I don't know if he likes Civ 6 or plays Civ 6 that much, but I'm curious to see if he has any interest in getting that one.
This dude. So the brother, King Mulatto, is my brother. Says I have enough time. Oh, why are you lying, dude? He just had a newborn. He'll see how it goes shortly. But yeah. Then there's Jump Force. You want to tell us why you're excited about Jump Force?
I mean, I don't know if I'm excited as much as like interested in to see how it exactly is. I don't like 3D fighters like Tekken or really most of the anime fighters other than Dragon Ball FighterZ. I prefer the 2D setup when it comes to fighting games. But I mean, it's got a lot of characters that I like, so to that extent, I'm interested in it. But that's really where it kind of lies on me. I highlighted it because I was just like, oh, I like these anime characters.
Interesting.
But I'm not. It's not something I'm looking. Honestly, none of these games are things that I look on or anticipate picking up. To be honest.
Ooh. I'm kind of but like fighting games in general, including the game that we kind of host a lot, Super Smash Bros. Like it's not that they're not good games or that I like super enjoy them. It's kind of that. It's just I can burn out on them really fast.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Fighting games that for me, like I have Soul Calibur 6 and I like it. I think it's an awesome game, but that's the only like 3D arena fighter that I like. But I played it for a few days and I was like, all right, I don't want to play this for another 6 months.
Right. It's more of like I don't like mashing people online. If I had more people to sit next to me and play the actual game.
I don't like playing fighting games online. Everyone's too sweaty.
Well, I'm not even upset that they're sweaty. It's just
that's why I'm upset.
There's like I get a lot of enjoyment when you're playing a fight game, sitting next to somebody and having that interaction. Because it's one of the few kinds of games that you actually will kind of talk a little bit. And
sitting next to each other, or even playing like a friend online, I enjoy. Like that, like for example, for Smash, I don't really play quick play at all. But whenever my friends are online and like, hey, you want to play some Smash? Like, fuck yeah, like 100%.
Right. So like for me, that's just generally how these games go. Is like being super competitive with them is just it's so technical. I feel like and less thinking. More mechanical, let me press the buttons in the right sequences. And a lot of my experience with fighting games, yes, there is some thinking, there's some reads and so on and so forth. It's just, for me, it's like kind of making sure you're laying your combos and having studied combos and follow-ups and punishes and understanding matchups. And like, that is kind of what I don't like a whole lot, which is why I feel like I like a lot of other games that are heavily strategy dependent. I gotta move my units here, I gotta do these different types of things, kind of like RTSs versus like and just general strategy games and stuff like that. And then I like first person shooters, which is like, hey, hold this area, sight lines, game awareness, and landing your shots. And I guess it's kind of the same in some degree, but
the more I think about it, the more I realize I think I just like single player games more than anything else. I play a lot of them.
Yeah.
But and Fortnite. I play a lot of Fortnite too. That's like the only other, and I'm like not good at that game. I just play it for something to do. But anyway, the only game that I will definitely get this month, not necessarily because I'm interested in it or played any other game in the series, but because I have Game Pass and it's included with Game Pass, is Crackdown 3, which my entire interest from this game spawns with the fact that Terry Crews is in it. I like Terry Crews a lot, and that's
Oh yeah, I always forget that you don't care for like Grand Theft Auto games.
No, I hate Grand Theft Auto.
Like I always forget. It just slips my mind. I was like, there's never anybody who doesn't like these games. But nah, Dan's one of them. And nobody likes PUBG, dude. You can say it all you want. Nobody likes PUBG.
Are you what?
Oh, I'm talking to my brother. He's
Oh.
talking in chat.
I don't. It's not popping up. Is it?
It's D
What
Live.
chat is it? Oh, it's D Live.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Because I have Twitch open. I'm not seeing it.
Right, and he's like, PUBG. And it's like, nah, dude.
Nobody. Yeah, PUBG. You mean brown? The color brown? The game? No, I'll pass on that one. There's no colors in that game.
That boy, whose man's is that? Doesn't like GTA, and Casual Ham says, I like PUBG. Of course you do. Of course
Hey
you do,
man,
Casual.
listen. You like whatever you want to like. I'm not gonna judge you for it. But for me, I'd much rather play something with a color palette.
Ooh, get him. With some variety, all right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, whatever. I mean, I also don't know anything about guns, so I pick up like guns and they have like real gun names rather than just like shotgun or pistol. And I'm like, I don't know what this does. And I don't want to shoot it and experiment because I don't know what it does and I don't want to make noises. But yeah. Other game I have. Huh?
Well, I'm super excited for Crackdown 3. I've enjoyed the series overall. It's a little bit of a kind of like a grind fest, and sometimes there's like not a lot to do, or it's just really repetitive. But I don't know. I like Grand Theft Auto games. I just like the little, and I like their stories typically too.
All I know about this game is it has Terry Crews, and he can apparently take down buildings. You like knock down buildings because you're like.
There's some destructible terrain and stuff in it. Who knows? Like I typically don't like to overinvest and read all the information and all the articles and so on and so forth. I just like to play games, I like to sit
also,
down
they've
and
been
have
teasing
experience.
this game for like 4 years,
Yeah,
so I'm happy that it's like finally alive.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it, and I can't wait to play it. I'm glad it's finally here.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the one game here that I will more than likely definitely play because I have it for having Game Pass.
That kind of makes me want to get Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth it just for the, Xbox exclusives alone. Like, not sponsored by Game Pass here, if anyone thinks so, but I think it's pretty good. And you can often get like the months for like a pretty cheap. I think right now you can start up with like 6 months for the cost of 3 months, so that's definitely worth it.
Right, like I'm really considering it. Although I know I'd waste a few months, and I think that's what they're banking on to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do. I go months where I don't play, but I play games off Game Pass. But then they'll add something that intrigues me, and I'm like, well, I can check this out. Or there's a lot of times where like it's like an indie game or something that I normally wouldn't like. I don't want to say that because there's a lot of indie games I do buy, but. Sometimes I'll see a game and it'll be priced like $40 and I'm like, I don't want to spend $40 on it, but then it'll throw it on Game Pass. I'm like, oh, now I'm interested in it. Or there'll be a game that I was like, I have no intention of playing this, but my friend's like, oh, come on, play it with me. So I'll just install it and play with him for a couple times, and then it goes the way of every other game I play. And that is that I stop playing it.
Right. Just because I'm curious, because I really might do it. Like I game share with my brother. He's kind of in the chat at the moment anyway.
Yeah, it does game share, so you can split it.
Whoo! Goodness gracious!
Me and my buddy who I game share with, he gives me $5 a month, and then it covers for both of us. So essentially, I pay $5 a month instead of $10 a month.
We might have to do it, brother. It's
definitely, like I said, it's definitely worth it. I mean, if you look at it like this, especially with you game sharing, and even if you pay like the full rate right now. It's $60 a person. So you're each buying one game and you have access to a couple hundred and maybe not a couple hundred, but over 100. And every game that is an Xbox exclusive from here until they decide to stop doing that.
We might gotta do it, son. I gotta do this,
I think it's worth it. I mean, I got it around the time initially for Sea of Thieves. Didn't really care about Sea of Thieves didn't really care for Sea of Thieves that much, but I ended up keeping it. Forza Horizon 4 was 4, and I got to play a good deal of. So, like, really, nothing. No bad things to say about Game Pass yet. Sometimes they remove games, but I haven't had any game where I'm like, deep into playing it, and they're like, it's gone now. Buy it. So. That's good.
So it's like it's not
It's like Netflix.
it's not a rotating game.
No, yes, they
They
have
just
like
add certain games in it
yeah,
every night.
they add some games get added, some games leave. You know, just like
Okay,
anything.
got you. Okay,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So next thing that I have highlighted is a game that I will not get, but it is a game that I've played before. That is the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. Well, I've played, I think one. I think I played the first two. I don't know if I played the third one. They're DS games. They're essentially visual novels where you play as this attorney and you have to solve the case and defend your defendant. So like you look for evidence during the days and then you go into court cases. It sounds silly, it sounds kind of dumb, but they're actually pretty fun RPGs. I definitely recommend it, especially since I'm not usually a visual novel guy, but I did play those games when I was a bit younger, and I very much so enjoyed them. Good stories. Objection.
So I'm actually pretty hype about it, although it kind of wanes. I feel like these kinds of titles always kind of go weird ways, which is Anthem. Me and my brother are definitely gonna buy it, but I'm kind of
Yeah. I mean, I have my really good friend Mike, who's not watching this, but shout out Mike, who's been like chirping in my ear trying to get me to buy it for months now, and it hasn't worked at all because I really still have no desire to play Destiny where you play as Iron Man. Like that's kind of what the game looks like to me. It's just like so you know how you like Destiny? We took Destiny and we gave you an Iron Man suit, and now you can fly around like you're Iron Man, but also shoot stuff like your Destiny. And that's whatever. I mean, if you're into that, cool. But really doesn't speak to anything to me. I heard that the demo was this weekend, and the people who played it said good things. However, most people weren't able to play it for one reason or another, or it was really buggy or laggy when they tried to play it. So that's a sit and wait on it, and if it ends up if enough word of mouth gets to my attention where it sounds like it might be pretty cool to check out, I'll check out. But it's definitely not a day one title for me personally. Nothing against. Hey, if you're a big BioWare fan and you're like, I love the Mass Effect games and the Dragon Ages, then go do it, dude. Like, live your life. Don't let me dictate what you do and do play. But at the end of the day, remember, this is an EA game as well. That comes with it everything else that comes with being an EA game. Yeah. I think that's all the games that come out this month that I'm at all interested in. I know my friend is really big into the Metro games, so he's been chirping in my ear trying to get me the Metro, to get Metro Exodus, but I'm not going to do that. I might end up way down the line when it goes on sale for $5 picking up Lego Movie 2 game because I like Lego games. I think while not difficult, they are very enjoyable. So, yeah.
So my brother mentions, what about Fallout 76? He's a really big fan of those types of games, though. So Anthem.
Me?
Well, yeah, he's just throwing it out there as what to buy and such.
Oh, Fallout 76 gets kind of a bad rap. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I had no intention of ever playing it, but my game share buddy bought it, and he was like, "Come on, play this with me." And I ended up playing it for a bit. I've stopped since. I was not I was level 30 or something, so I didn't get super duper far, but I had fun when I played it, especially with friends.
Right. It's a Fallout game. I'm sure it's more Fallout. I think.
Yeah, but I don't really like Fallout games, so it was surprising that I liked it. I think I just like the ability to play that kind of game with friends. I don't know if it was just a thing. For example, it's basically Fallout 4, and I didn't like Fallout 4. So the fact that I like Fallout 76 and not Fallout 4 is kind of weird and doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but maybe it'll convince me to check out Fallout 4.
Yeah, I mean, Fallout 4 is not terrible. I like those kinds of games, but the decentralized story always kind of gets me a little bit. They never really seem to have a clean flowing story.
Oh, there's definitely this is not. There's no real story. That's the main issue with this game. It's just
because it's, you know, like Skyrim and all that other stuff, and I just hate how disjointed the story feels from the actual game itself. And like I it's not that I don't like. I don't mind them, but it fails to suck me in. It's more of like a random explore type of game, you know. And like I like a little story with my stuff, you know. I like a little bit of story. So Metro Exodus is something that my brother would like too. So bro, seeing how you're out there, you might want to check that out too. That might be something we could do. Although I doubt I'd play it very much.
I think the earlier Metro games might be Game Pass. I mean, you might have to look into that. I'm not entirely sure, but it is, yeah. Anyway, are you ready to move on to movies?
Sure. Let's get to it.
All right. So for movies, we have February 1st, we have Miss Bala. For February 8th, we have The Lego Movie 2, Cold Pursuit, What Men Want, and The Prodigy. For February 13th, we have Happy Death Day to You and Isn't It Romantic? On February 14th, Valentine's Day, we have Fighting with My Family and Alita Battle Angel. And on February 22nd, we have How to Train Your Dragon 3 Hidden World. That's what it's called. So it seems like I have a lot more interest in some of these movies than you do, as you did not highlight much. So I will start off. I am very excited for the Lego Movie 2, which is, well, I'm not as excited as I was for the first Lego Movie. I really, really wanted to go see the Lego Movie because I like Legos and stuff, and I like the cast, and I very much so enjoyed it. I love the first Lego Movie. I haven't really been following the hype for the second one as much, but since I did like the first one so much, and I'm hearing that the second one is still pretty solid, I'm excited. I'm excited to go see that one. I don't know if you've seen the Lego Movie or any of that.
Yeah, I took some of my first cousins to go see it. It was okay, you know.
I like it a lot.
It was like kind of really cheesy, and you know it's for kids, and so that's cool. That's great. You know what I mean? Like this one looks more of the same, and it's not that like I hate the movie. It's just not something that I was like, yay! That Lego movie was great.
I was like, yay! I'm like reaching back here behind my computer so I can pull out something that I just so happened to see out of the corner of my eye, which is Emmett from the Lego Movie. Have him just kind of hanging out behind my computer. But yeah, no, I was a big fan of the Lego Movie. I thought it was very funny. I thought it was silly and good messages and such. So I was a big fan of that movie. So I am very excited for the sequel. Another one that I have highlighted here is Happy Death Day to You, which is the sequel to Happy Death Day, which is a movie I have not seen, and I don't know why I haven't seen it yet, because I was interested in seeing it. Are you familiar with it?
No.
Okay, so Happy Death Day, the first one, is this girl who wakes up on her birthday, and she gets killed at night. And then the next morning, she wakes up again, like a Groundhog's Day kind of scenario. And essentially, she keeps waking up and dying, like being brutally murdered in all these different fashions, and wakes up in the morning, starts fresh. So she has to figure out how to break the loop, and the way to do that is to survive the night. But she has, like, the whole movie is her trying to survive the night. And it's like a horror movie, but it's like a comedy horror, which is the shit that I like. So I wanted to see it and then never got around to seeing it. And everyone I know who did watch it said that it was enjoyable. So I'm happy they made a sequel to it. The sequel is more of the same. I think it's someone else's birthday, but she's still involved, and it's like her being chased down by the killer again. So, like I said, I'm gonna watch the first one probably before I end up seeing the second one, if I end up seeing the second one. But I think it's an interesting movie, and even though I'm not super into like the heavy repetition, like for example, I don't know if you saw that Tom Cruise movie that came a few years ago, Live, Die, Repeat, or it was also called Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, the name changed like 4 times. It changed from the time it was in movie theaters to when it came out on DVD, which is hilarious. Just fucking decide a name. Pick one name and just like, this is what we're going to go with. But they were this is what we're going to go with. Actually, we're going to go with this. Yeah, let's go back to that one. And then by the time it was, you know what? No, we're Live, Die, Repeat. Like, how is anybody supposed to know that that's a movie? That's the name of the movie. I know that Live, Die, Repeat was the tagline, but you don't just change the movie into the tagline. No one does that. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I digress. I hated that movie.
It was okay.
Also,
okay.
the best possible name was the anime or the manga name that it's based off of, which is All You Need Is Kill. But the reason I didn't like how repetitive that movie felt at times, so maybe I won't like Happy Death Day because that movie is going to be really repetitive. But I think this, like, a silly repetition is like a silly horror repetition. I think I would enjoy more than Tom Cruise being like, I gotta do this again, and like watching Emily Blunt stretch for the billionth time. Like, okay, cool, I guess. But yeah, so that's a movie like that. February 14th, I have a couple highlighted here. The first one is Fighting with My Family. This movie is about a wrestler. Her name is Paige. She's a WWE wrestler, or was. She's actually been forced to retire since last I checked. Produced by The Rock. It's about her life story growing up in the UK and or England, or I'm not actually entirely sure where she's from. I apologize. Yeah, I mean, the reason I highlighted it is because I'm a wrestling guy. I'm a big fan of wrestling. I like Paige. I think she's a very good wrestler personally. I like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who is in the movie and is, the maker of the movie. So, yeah, I just wanted to highlight it because it touches interests that I like. Also, the same day, we have Alita Battle Angel, which a few months ago I had wanted to have nothing to do with this movie. Honestly, a few weeks ago, I wanted to have nothing to do with this movie, and then one tiny thing changed my mind out of it. I thought it was directed by James Cameron, and it's not, which is great because I can't stand James Cameron as director. It's being produced and partially written by James Cameron, and it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, who I think is a great director. If you don't know who Robert Rodriguez is, Day of the Dead, the Spy Kids movies, Machete, Sin City. He's got. I mean, like, I like a lot of those movies, so I am very much so interested in it, and it makes a lot more sense that it's a Robert Rodriguez movie because it looks weird as shit, and all his stuff is weird. So I like that. So now I'm interested in the movie.
Yeah, it looked weird. I highlighted it because out of the list, that was something that I was like, oh, we'll give this a try. And we kind of use this as a barometer to see what we're gonna do for the next month in a lot of senses. So I was like, this is worth it. Yeah,
I think it could. Like I said, now that I know it's Robert Rodriguez, I think it could be better than I initially thought. And like, if I got any James Cameron stands in the audience right now, I apologize. I didn't mean to disrespect Titanic or Avatar, even though neither one of those movies are particularly that great in my opinion. But hey, like what you like. Terminator 2 was good. I'll give him that.
Oh yeah, that's a fucking great movie if that's what he made.
Yeah, and then the last one on the list, How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World, which is the third movie in the How to Train Your Dragon series. First one I thought was incredible. Second one, people were saying was better. I disagree. I think the first one was way better than the first one. Or the first one was way better than the second one. And now there's a third one. And now, don't get me wrong. I said the first one is better than the second one, but that doesn't mean that the second one I thought was bad. I thought the second one was still pretty good, but first one I just enjoyed more. Yeah, I have high hopes for the third one. I think this is probably, of the DreamWorks movie series, this is the one that is best made.
I enjoyed those movies, so I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this one. Although 2, I felt like they went wrong with the plot. Yeah,
I just didn't think 2 was as good. Like, it was still enjoyable. It was a fun watch, but it didn't hold the same weight that 1 did for me,
Well, it's just, it was like what they did. It was kind of like this whole, okay, here's what it is, because I can explain it really, really simply. The first one was like, we're in the dark ages, we don't know what's going on. We need to find ways to make Burke work and all this other stuff. We're having all these problems, and then it's like, we can train dragons. Cool. movie kind of comes to a close, when all that stuff gets figured out. The second one was like, okay, now we have this giant universe, and like they kind of centralized on Burke too much to me. And his dad died. And I just kind of didn't like that. You know, I just felt like, you know, if they would have spent a little bit more time expanding the universe. That was a donation from Smurf. You know?
Thank you. I was like, why am I being master-handed right now?
Right. It's just the donation notification for that.
It's all good.
So, you know, like I just didn't like how it just felt like the universe then re-imploded. And again, it wasn't like it was a terrible movie. I just think it would have been a lot more cooler if they just explored the universe a little bit. Because like I even watched the like cartoon. You know, my daughter liked it, and I was like, oh shit, it's an excuse for me to watch.
Yeah, I haven't watched the Netflix show, but I've heard it's solid.
It's pretty cool. You know, and it's like I kind of wish they would have went that route where he was like out exploring and they were expanding the universe. I feel like they try to hone in too much sometimes, and I just really want to know more.
This one I think is gonna expand more because like just the way that the trailer kind of sets it up, because they're like venturing to this like far off mythical dragon land and shit, and then you got the dragon kidnapper guy. I don't know. I've seen a couple of the trailers.
That's a lot like how the show plays out. Basically, they find this like telescope that kind of gives them, you know, hints towards like a super dragon. I didn't watch the whole series, and it's not even done anyway. So, you know, they're like on this continuous quest to find different kinds of dragons, as well as figure out how to make
and the show puzzle. Takes place after 2, right?
No, it's got to be in between, because...
in between 1 and 2?
Yes, because, you know, his dad's still alive.
Gotcha.
So, you know, they're just on this quest. And I don't actually think they're supposed to mend together. I think they're supposed to, like, kind of...
Oh, they're not...
semi-exist together, but not really. You know, so it gives me that impression. But his dad's alive, so, you know. And I'm sorry, spoiler alert. Yeah, and 2, you know... Hiccup.
That movie came out like 5 years ago.
Yeah, but you gotta say it anyway.
No, you don't. It's your fault for not. Whoever, listen. Spoiler alerts end at like a year after maybe.
It's kind of fair, but I see people doing it for like really really old movies, so I just thought it was just courtesy.
Yeah, I mean I get it. I respect that. I totally respect that. But at the same time, just watch the dang movie.
This could have spawned them to you know, watch the damn movie.
Not anymore. They know the dad's dead.
I was sad. I was really mad because I really liked his dad. You know, it's kind of like, you know, why would you do that?
I think that's the idea, is for you to get sad.
There are other ways to make me sad. Cut off his arm or something. You know. It's a total flat out. He already
lost his leg.
Yeah, so?
Well, you just keep making him lose body limbs and like just keep everyone else around him.
I mean, that's the Viking way, right? And I mean, there's already a character that has peg legs and like he only has one arm.
And he's like a joke character.
He still kills people. Like, I mean, you're making him a joke, but he was still kind of a badass. You know, either way you look at it. So overall, man, definitely a slow month. I feel like there are a few things that we're interested in. Not a whole lot, which is kind of why I think we're kind of in this weird state where we don't really have a whole lot to say. Although, you know, Kingdom Hearts tonight. You know?
Yeah, well, tomorrow for me. I don't know. It's okay.
And I mean, that's not even me like memeing towards you. That's just legitimate happiness.
Yeah, like, I'm excited. I will reserve my excitement until I have it in my hands.
Right, mine's already downloaded.
I might honestly just bring my PlayStation to work with me after that happens.
It's a good idea, man. It's a good idea.
No, it's not, because I would like to get work done.
Well, then don't bring it, dude.
Well,
it's
right.
Simple.
I might do it.
I might do it anyway, son. So, you know, if it means anything, Zero already played the game. He said it's amazing. So, you know, I didn't watch him stream it. So,
yeah, I mean, I
prefer to keep that stuff to
fully
myself.
expect to enjoy it. Everything I've seen about it looks great. And I like the other Kingdom Hearts games. So,
I actually might spend the time to watch one of those long history YouTube videos about the story of Kingdom Hearts. Because I got to tell you, playing the games is not enough to understand what's going on. You know,
not playing just 1 and 2. If you play all the other ones, you have a better shot, but it's still like not super cohesive.
Yeah.
It's weird. There's a lot going on, but yeah, if you just played 1 and 2, you don't know the story like at all, like 0%.
Yeah, I don't know the story then, because those were the only ones I played for a long time. There, I couldn't afford a PlayStation, so although I bought it on Xbox.
What, the Kingdom Hearts 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bought mine for PlayStation just because I have, the 1.5, 2.5, 2.8s. So I just want to keep them all together.
Styling.
Yeah, this one's gonna come in a I'm pretty sure a steelbook, which I'm really excited for because I like the steelbook.
So, but I would say that's what's happening in February 2019. Hopefully you guys enjoy some of these games. If not, there's always next month, and Kingdom Hearts comes out.
Or January. Just play games that are already out. There's a lot of honestly. Like I'm in the midst of playing a bunch of games. Strange Brigade is the game I'm playing for Game Pass with my buddy Kitty. I've been playing Octopath Traveler. Season 16 started for Diablo 3. There is no shortage of games, but as of tomorrow, they all go on hold for an extended period of time. So,
what about your rhythm games?
I still play rhythm games every now and again.
Yeah, your Persona rhythm games is what I was talking about.
I haven't played that in a while, but I mean, I could always just pick up and go back to it. I finished that I played through all the songs, so I mean, I could always go back and play them again. That's not something I haven't done, but
there he goes, Legends of Aria. I'll get it, man. Next paycheck, I promise you, I'll buy it.
Which one?
He's been playing this game that's in I think it's in beta. It's like a WoW kind of game to a degree.
An MMO.
Yeah, to a degree. It doesn't quite seem like it. He can explain it better than I can, but it's like, I don't know. It's a little bit more ruthless because there's a lot less safe zones, I guess. So you can literally just go through the fields and slaughter one another and stuff like that. And he kind of mentioned how hard it is to kind of gain gear when you've started and all that other stuff. And so it's like, They regularly have mob fights against other guilds and so on and so forth, and that part kind of sounds interesting. It's just in general I have a hard time playing these types of games. I don't know what it is. It's just again, maybe it's the disjointed story. Not enough cinematic. Hey, this is what's going on in the universe. That just matters to me. And it's so we'll see how it goes. But yes, brother, I will get it. Next paycheck.
Yes, brother.
Yes, brother. And I don't think your computer... You think your computer could handle it? Because I would invite you. You like those types of games, right, Dan?
My computer is not. No. Zero chance.
Zero chance. Okay. All right. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for coming out, listening to what's coming in February. Until next time, friends. Goodbye.
Later.